Welcome to Speak Peak English. Today, Sarah is back to share her first day experience at work in New York City after acing her interview, along with some new vocabulary. We'll learn the past perfect continuous tense today. It's a perfect opportunity to improve your listening and speaking skills. Let's begin. Listen carefully.
My first day at work. Hey there, it's Sarah. Today was a huge day for me, my very first day at work. I've been hired as a coordinator at a company, and let me tell you, it was quite the adventure. So picture this, I walk into the office bright and early this morning, feeling a mix of excitement and nerves. I mean, sure, I aced the interview and got the job, but now it's the real deal. Suddenly, I'm the one in charge of stuff, and that's a whole new ball game. My coworkers were nice enough. Don't get me wrong, they showed me around, introduced me to everyone, and tried to make me feel at home. But honestly, I was just trying to keep up. There were so many new faces, names to remember, and things to learn. It was like being thrown into the deep end of a swimming pool and trying not to sink. The days zoomed by in a blur of tasks and challenges. I had to wrap my head around new computer systems, answer a gazillion emails, and figure out what was important and what could wait. And let me tell you, I made my fair share of blunders along the way. Like there was this one time when I accidentally sent an email to the wrong person. Talk about embarrassing. But hey, we all mess up sometimes, right? The important thing is to learn from it and move on. But you know what? Despite all the craziness, there were moments of triumph too. Like when I finally completed my first assignment and my supervisor gave me a thumbs up, that felt pretty darn good, let me tell you. By the time I left the office, I was wiped out. I mean, mentally and physically exhausted. But you know what? I also felt kind of proud of myself. I tackled my first day at work head on, faced some challenges, and come out the other side in one piece. And hey, if I can survive today, I can survive anything, right? Here's to many more adventures in the world of work.
After listening to Sarah's first day experience at work, let's explore some new vocabulary from the story to enhance our language skills. It's time for word exploration. 1. Aced definition: to perform exceptionally well in a task or endeavor, often resulting in successful or impressive outcomes. Example from the story: Sarah aced the interview and secured the job position. Example from real life: despite the tough competition, he aced the exam by diligently studying and understanding the material. 2. Thrown definition: to be suddenly or unexpectedly placed into a situation or condition, often without prior preparation or anticipation. Example from the story: Sarah felt like she was thrown into the deep end on her first day at work, facing numerous challenges from the start. Example from real life: after the unexpected announcement, she felt thrown into chaos, having to adapt quickly to the new circumstances. 3. Zoomed by definition: to pass or proceed rapidly, often without being fully aware of the passage of time due to the speed or intensity of activities. Example from the story: Sarah's first day at work zoomed by in a blur of tasks and interactions, leaving her feeling both exhilarated and exhausted. Example from real life: during the vacation, the days seemed to zoom by as they explored new places and engaged in exciting activities. 4. Blur definition: a state of confusion or indistinctness, often caused by rapid movement or overwhelming sensory input. Example from the story: Sarah's first day at work was a blur of new faces, unfamiliar procedures, and fast-paced activities, making it difficult for her to process everything at once. Example from real life. After the accident, everything happened in a blur, and she struggled to recall the details of the events leading up to it. 5. Gazillion. Definition: an exaggerated or humorous way of expressing a very large or unspecified number, often used informally. Example from the story: Sarah had to address what felt like a gazillion emails on her first day at work, highlighting the overwhelming volume of tasks she needed to handle. Example from real life: trying to choose a movie from the gazillion options available on the streaming service proved to be a daunting task. 6. Along the way. Definition: during the course of a journey, process, or undertaking as something progresses or develops. Example from the story: Sarah encountered various challenges along the way during her first day at work, but each obstacle provided valuable learning experiences. Example from real life: along the way to achieving her dream of becoming a published author, she faced rejection, criticism, and self-doubt, but she persevered despite the setbacks. 7. Triumph. Definition: a notable success, achievement, or victory, often obtained after overcoming significant obstacles or challenges. Example from the story: Sarah felt a sense of triumph when she successfully completed her first assignment at work, marking a significant milestone in her professional journey. Example from real life: winning the championship was a triumph for the team, as they had persevered through injuries, setbacks, and fierce competition to emerge victorious. 8. Darn. Definition: an informal expression used to convey emphasis or intensity, often substituting for stronger language. Example from the story: Sarah felt pretty darn proud of herself after navigating through the challenges of her first day at work with determination and resilience. Example from real life: despite the rain, they had a darn good time at the outdoor concert, enjoying the music and camaraderie with friends. Great job! We've just expanded our vocabulary with new words from Sarah's story. Now, let's explore the past perfect continuous tense. Let's continue. Past perfect continuous tense. The past perfect continuous tense is used to describe an action that began in the past and continued up until another point in the past, or to emphasize the duration of an action or event that happened before another action in the past. Example from the story: when I arrived at the office, I had been feeling nervous all morning. In this sentence, had been feeling is the past perfect continuous tense, indicating that Sarah's feeling of nervousness started before she arrived at the office and continued up until that point. Example from real life: when I called her, she had been working on her project for hours. In this example, had been working emphasizes the duration of the action working on her project that started before the phone call and continued until that moment. Now, we've reached the final round. Let's practice both listening and speaking skills together with a repeat after me session. Ready? Let's get started.
My first day at work. Hey there, it's Sarah. Today was a huge day for me, my very first day at work. I've been hired as a coordinator at a company, and let me tell you, it was quite the adventure. So picture this: I walk into the office bright and early this morning, feeling a mix of excitement and nerves. Sure, I aced the interview and got the job, but now it's the real deal. Suddenly, I'm the one in charge of stuff, and that's a whole new ball game. My coworkers were nice enough, don't get me wrong. They showed me around, introduced me to everyone, and tried to make me feel at home. But honestly, I was just trying to keep up. There were so many new faces, names to remember, and things to learn. It was like being thrown into the deep end of a swimming pool and trying not to sink. The days zoomed by in a blur of tasks and challenges. I had to wrap my head around new computer systems, answer a gazillion emails, and figure out what was important and what could wait. And let me tell you, I made my fair share of blunders along the way. Like there was this one time when I accidentally sent an email to the wrong person. Talk about embarrassing. But hey, we all mess up sometimes, right? The important thing is to learn from it and move on. But you know what? Despite all the craziness, there were moments of triumph too. Like when I finally completed my first assignment and my supervisor gave me a thumbs up, that felt pretty darn good, let me tell you. By the time I left the office, I was wiped out. Mentally and physically exhausted. But you know what? I also felt kind of proud of myself. I tackled my first day at work head-on, faced some challenges, and come out the other side in one piece. And hey, if I can survive today, I can survive anything, right? Here's to many more adventures in the world of work.
That wraps up today's lesson. I hope you've acquired some new and valuable knowledge. If you enjoyed this session, please like and subscribe for more. Remember, practice makes perfect, so keep practicing. Until next time, take care.